What's going on, Chad? I'm excited to have you here today. I'm excited that you're a client of ours, and I wanted to make a simple video for other people who are looking to come into our services so that they can see that we're real. We actually do what we say we're going to do. If you don't mind, can you just give a simple background for people who are watching this video about, who you are, have you done real estate before, and what you currently do for a living?
Yeah, sure. So my name's Chad. I'm from New Hampshire. Currently work in the field as a nurse, mental health field actually. And I've never really done real estate before. Primarily, I have an ADU that I currently rent out, but I was looking to do something more. And after reviewing a lot of different online options and programs, stumbled across Joe Carter and the Section 8 crew. And after a couple different meetings and talking directly with them, made the choice to go with them to try to get some properties. So it was very interesting getting into the Section 8 field.
And your goal here was to build obviously a real estate portfolio because you want to get something with predictable income that gave you really good cash flow, correct?
Correct. Yeah, I was looking to put some money reinvest some money into it and something that's going to pay me some monthly cash flow.
What would you say was the reason why you decided to go with us instead of just doing this yourself? What was the main motivator for that?
Well, there's a lot of, everyone says, oh, you can just go on YouTube and figure stuff out on your own or look it up. But there's, you can get buried in endless videos and forums and things like that. But this was pretty straightforward. And I like that it was the all done for you service because I work full time. I have a son. I don't have time to be doing that all on my own. So I was looking for something that could sort of be done for me where I just had to minimally give input or support or make some decisions.
And how soon after you start our service did you buy your first 3 properties? I think it was like within a month or 2 months, right?
Yeah, I think it started in late November. And then in January, we were closing on 3 properties.
Which is amazing. And I believe one of the properties that you had acquired already had a tenant in there. So you were cash flowing from that property basically day one when you bought that property, correct?
Yes, that's right.
And the one thing that obviously we know what's better than having non-Section 8 tenants is generally Section 8 tenants, you're gonna make a lot more. I think you were just telling me about one of the properties you bought. We're looking at getting rented, and you think you're gonna make roughly about $800 in profit after all expenses on that deal?
Yeah, it should be between 8 and 9 after mortgage, insurance, and management.
Is that a 3-bedroom property, 4-bedroom property?
It's a 4-1.
4-bedroom, 1 bath. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. So I know that, when we talked in the past, whenever there's been any type of miscommunication or hiccups, how quickly has my team been to respond? And if you needed to get access to me, how quickly have I been able to respond to you?
Oh, you guys have been really responsive. I have pretty open access to the crew on the Slack channel, so I can usually throw a question or a concern, or if there's something going on, I don't know the answer, I can chime in there, and usually within the hour I have a response from one of the guys or one of the ladies that's on the group. And then I know we've talked quite a few times too, like when I had other further like higher level questions, or you were reaching out for some feedback on the team. Pretty easy to get a hold of.
And the Slack channel, has that been a better experience being with us on Slack than going through email, would you say?
Yeah, I like that better because it's more real time. Everyone sees it. It's just basically that running group chat. I was actually new to Slack. I've never used it prior to that, so it was super helpful to be able to just have instant access.
Was it pretty easy to use?
Oh yeah, it's basically just like having a group chat that's ongoing forever.
Right, which is great. And we like that because it gives you 24/7 access to us in case you need any questions answered. I do believe, and just to correct me if I'm wrong, when you bought the 3 properties, did you get those properties with putting 20% down or 15% down?
I did 15%.
Which is pretty significant. Getting property for 15% down obviously saves you a lot of money on the down payment. It helps with the cash on cash. What is your goal, would you say, for the next year? Obviously, getting the properties cash flowing. In the next 12 months, do you see yourself buying more properties with us? Like, what would you say your current goal is?
I really just get as many as possible. It's they do take a little bit of time to stabilize and get the right tenant in there, but once they're cash flowing to their full potential, I'd hope to be adding some additional properties, like a couple a year, depending on my personal other adventures as well.
And how hands off would you say this entire process has been? Obviously you still have to approve the tenant. You got to buy the property, right? You got to approve like the property manager that we sign up, and there's some little approval things from there. But would you say that we've been able to handle majority of the headache and the stuff that needs to be done for this?
Yeah, I would say probably like 99%. I mean, I've had to be very minimal, mostly just signatures and a couple, connections with like the finance company, things like that. And the property manager has been really good too. I mean, he actually found and vetted a tenant for me, and I didn't even have to talk to the guy directly at all.
Amazing.
The boots on the ground part definitely helps too.
Awesome. Absolutely love to hear that. I guess the other question I'd ask you is, would you feel comfortable referring us other business or telling other people to join our service and community?
Yeah, absolutely. I have told a couple friends both locally and across the country about it. I think a few of them are in the middle of sort of talking to you guys to figure out what their steps are going to be.
Absolutely awesome. And then I guess the other question to ask you is, are you in the mindset of you want to build these properties to hold on to forever, or are you looking to build a large portfolio to eventually sell and have a nice exit?
I'd like to keep going as long as possible because I mean I'm not really looking to have a big, massive exit. I'd rather just have that consistent monthly cash flow.
Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Okay. If is there anything else that you'd like to say to people that are looking at this and considering joining? Is there anything that any advice or tips that you feel good about mentioning?
Yeah, I'd say, I mean, I haven't had direct experience with other ventures that do this, but I've read a lot of the feedback on other ones in my research and making the decision. And from what I can see in the other ones, and my personal experience with this company is just the amount of hands off is the most important thing to me. So being that that was true, I do also appreciate that it's veteran owned as well, as veteran family members as well. So those are some big positives for me.
The one thing I always want to make sure of is, as the owner of the company, I always like to make sure clients know they can have direct access to me if they need. Because obviously, when you're dealing with people and you're dealing with services like this, there's always going to be things that might come about or headaches that need to be handled and addressed. And so the reason why I like to have clients like yourself have access to me, so maybe you might need to get a direct answer or somebody to handle something. Me being available to you gives me a lot of pride knowing that you have a good experience and good service. So I appreciate your time and you trusting us with your time and your hard-earned money to make sure that you are able to build a successful real estate portfolio. So again, I want to extend my thanks to you on that. And I look forward to helping you buy more properties. If there's anything else that obviously you feel like you need, like, I guess the last thing I would say is, if there was anything that you feel we could do better at, what would you say that would be?
I haven't really figured that out yet. Other
Okay,
than
that's a good
other
thing.
than find some super cheap properties that are, I mean, they're pretty good. The prices are pretty good on the properties, but they go quick. So that's
Yeah,
the one thing I've noticed is even the ones we did get back in January. I mean, they were, I think two were actually on market and one was off market through a referral. So
yeah.
that's the intricacies of finding the right things at the right price.
I think now with the high demand with Section 8, you could probably, if you wanted to, get a pretty penny for selling those properties, especially with the cash flowing tenants in them. I mean, that's the one good thing about having guaranteed cash flow from Section 8 is it's basically like a small business that you can turn around and sell for a premium at the end of the day, right? Listen, awesome. I want to say, Chad, thank you for your time. I look forward to helping you build a higher portfolio. And for anybody looking to get started with us, this is one of our clients. I look forward to helping you guys build your business, your real estate portfolio as well. And till then, have a great day.